is going on, hobby family? It is your boy K-Dub, and this is K-Dub's High Five, 5 rapid fire questions with your favorite hobby faces. And today we bring the face that brings the most up-to-date hobby news to YouTube and beyond. My friend Ryan, Sports Card Radio at Sports Card Radio on socials. How are you doing today, bro?
Doing pretty good, man. How about yourself? You look like you're in a classroom there. You just finished up school today. Were the kids good today?
Oh, the kids were amazing, man. I mean, we're halfway through the year, man. It's a well-oiled machine now. I just kind of push play and leave the room. So you know how it is. So
What grade do you teach?
I teach 7th grade, the best grade.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So yep.
The kids know how to handle themselves a little bit at that age.
Yeah, but they're still like in that weird phase where they still like their teacher a little bit. So it's super fun. It's my favorite age. So 8th graders, things change, but 7th grade is like the sweet spot. So and elementary just need a little too much for me. So I like
Sure.
running. So
Right.
anyways, man, how it works. I got 5 hobby questions. I'm gonna throw them at you one right after another. You ready to take on the high
Okay.
five?
Let's do it.
All right, man. Sports Card Radio is the channel. Walk me through a little bit how you came up with the idea. How did it come to be? How did it get to where it is today?
Sports Card Radio was my brother's idea. I have a twin brother that we both work on the channel. We both appear on the YouTube channel, and my brother came up with this idea. Gosh, it's going to make me feel old, going on about 15 years ago. He thought of an idea to start putting up podcasts. This is like in 2008 and 2009 when those just started getting going. And so my brother started putting those up, and I thought it was the dumbest idea in the history of the world. And I think I told him that. I was like, nobody's going to listen to these things. Sure enough, I think he did about 4 or 5 of them. And the craziest thing was we were sitting there one day and he said, hey, this person emailed me about the podcast and just started talking about cards. And I literally probably almost hit the floor because I thought, one, it was the dumbest idea ever. Nobody would listen to it. And then the fact that there was somebody listening to it and they even emailed him, it absolutely floored me. So my brother was really kind of the spearhead of it. And this is going on 15 years ago. I think he did over 200 podcasts. We probably have over 2,500 articles on our website, sportscardradio.com.
Yeah.
And for the last year or so, we've been putting up videos on YouTube. I don't know how many videos we have, but we've probably put up, oh gosh, probably several hundred videos, actually, maybe 150 videos in the last year or so, just kind of talking about the various things going on in the sports card world. So it's been a long journey, but it's mostly been, to my brother's credit, it was his idea. I thought it was stupid. And here we are 15 years later, and it's still going. So,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I didn't know which Sports Card Radio face was gonna show up on the Zoom today. So we were texting. You never say your names in the videos that I've heard, so I didn't know who I was gonna get. So I was expecting one or the other. So, well, shout out to your brother for being a spearhead in this thing, man. It's kind of took off, like you said, the content that you make. I mean, in a year, you guys put out over 150 videos. I mean, you're on it. Where are your sources of hobby information, or can you release that? Or, I mean, are you on just socials all the time, grabbing what you can as far as what's happening in the hobby?
we probably get about 10 to 20 either emails or from people every day. I'm on the phone with different people every day. I have different phone conversations with different people every day. Sometimes it's even people from outside the hobby that are sometimes the best sources because they don't have any biases and they're
Absolutely.
just really ready to shed the dirt. I even today got probably a 2,000 word document from somebody who was just really wanting to kind of burn all these sports card dealers. So, I mean, it's incredible. It's really all comes from fans of the show, different people who watch the videos and then, want to email, want to help out. And that's really where it almost all comes from. I barely ever sit down myself and really hunker down and do some research. It all comes from tips and sources and emails and messages and a lot of phone calls lately. I've spent a lot of time on the phone lately, and you get a lot of really, really good information that way. So it's all from, helpful people out there watching.
Shout out to the Sports Card Radio fan base and
that's right,
man. That's awesome. All right, well, I know that you collect as well, and when you think about kind of your own personal hobby journey or your collecting journey, like who would you say were some of your key influences as far as getting you into sports cards, making you fall in love with sports cards, collecting sports cards?
Well, this is going even back further than the website, but my brother and I were ball boys for this is the University of the Pacific college basketball team.
Okay.
And they are not known for their college basketball, but from 90, I think it was 95 through 98, they had a player by the name of Michael Olowokandi, who was the #1 overall pick in the draft. So we were the ball boys for his team. Here was a guy who came to the University of Pacific and wasn't projected to do anything really much, maybe hit the court by his senior year. So to see a guy go from averaging 6 points a game to becoming the #1 pick in the NBA draft was absolutely incredible. We saw him have some incredible games. And so he had a pretty long NBA career, actually. I think he hung around for about 9 or 10 years. Obviously, live up to the potential that most NBA picks are bestowed upon them. But what it has done, it has made his cards very, very inexpensive. And over the years, we've acquired hundreds of them. I just got a couple more the other day. So certainly anything Michael Olowokandi, and that kind of, when we were getting cards and we were working at a hobby shop at that time, and his cards were coming out, and it was just so cool, because we met him and we kind of know him in a way, and to watch him go to the NBA and do his thing, it was pretty freaking awesome, actually.
Yeah, a lot of people kind of credit him as kind of a bust, but if you actually look at the longevity of his career, he actually played for several different teams and actually had a decent NBA career. But obviously, #1 pick. The bar is this high on him. So fantastic. Very cool. All right. Well, let's talk about the cards for you. I'm guessing your Grail card is not a Michael Olowokandi 101, but maybe it is. One card you've always wanted, you've always dreamed of. What is it and why?
Certainly, I'd love some rare Michael Olowokandi cards. I probably should dig around and find some of those more often. But oh gosh, anything Barry Bonds, big, huge San Francisco Giants fan, big, huge Lakers fans. A lot of their star players' cards are very, very expensive. So you could imagine some of the cards I'd love over the years of Kobe or Shaq or Magic Johnson or Kareem or James Worthy or Michael Cooper, or any of the great Lakers over the years. So, and the Giants have had such a great run since 2010. They won 3 World Series. So obviously they had a lot of great players: Tim Lincecum, Matt Cain, Buster Posey. So gosh, but in reality, yes, I have a couple nice Barry Bonds autographs, but gosh, I'd love some more rare Barry Bonds cards, or kind of dip into the kind of the Barry Bonds world. And I know there's some collectors who just spend a lot of money on his refractors and some of those rare cards. So something really, really, I don't have anything specific, but something super nice Barry Bonds, like I'd be like all over that for sure.
Card, bat, glove? I mean,
we could go with a card, because that would be the easiest to store. I think I have a signed ball somewhere. I have an autographed card, but that's all I have. That's all I really have in terms of nice things.
Okay.
To pick up a few more items, especially cards. Cards would be pretty sweet, actually.
Nice. All right. One question: does Barry Bonds deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Yes or no?
Oh, I mean, that's without question. I mean,
all right, we're good. Me and you are good. We're good.
Gosh, I don't even get me started on that, because if in a few years Buster Posey doesn't get in, like I might just, start torching, wherever that Hall of Fame is. I might just go there personally.
Oh, all right, man. Question number 4. Let's talk about the product. All the money in the world. You can rip any box you want. Money's not an option. What product are you picking, and why?
Well, going back in time again, we sold, gosh, me and my brother sold a lot of 03, 04 basketball boxes, which was the LeBron, Carmelo, Dwayne Wade rookie year stuff. Gosh, I don't even want to think about all the stuff we sold. And then even before that, we sold a lot of 1996-97 Finest, which is Kobe's rookie year. We were getting these retail boxes, which I don't even know if you can even find these things anymore, but they had these retail boxes that only had 3 cards per pack. And we were buying them for like $20 or $25. And I remember when he had his 81-point game, I think we were selling boxes that night for like $160 or something. So you can imagine, we were like 20 years old at that point. So we were like, oh, I'm making $100. So we felt super smart, but we sold hundreds of boxes in 96, 97 Topps Finest basketball.
Yeah.
And I don't even think we ever opened a single box. So it pains me that we never even kept a box or opened a box. And certainly 03, 04 basketball, we sold a bunch of that stuff. UD Glass, Finest 03, 04, SP game used. We had cases of that.
Yeah.
it's all gone. But and we never pulled a LeBron. We never pulled the LeBron or anything good. The times we did open 0304, we never really pulled anything good. So what can you do? But I'd love to, gosh, if somebody out there wanted to, throw me a case or two, sure, I'd love to open that stuff.
Somebody wanted to give you a box for $160, you'd be all over
it. Oh, sign me up. Gosh.
All right, man. Last question for you. Man, you got your fingerprint is on the hobby, kind of looking at the hobby moving into 2023 and maybe even beyond that. Kind of what gets you most excited? But then on the other hand, kind of what gets you most nervous about some of the things you see coming down the pipeline for the hobby?
The most exciting thing is the fact that, card declined a little bit over the last couple years, or in some cases a lot, but we still got a lot of people in this hobby. There are probably 10 to 15 to 20 card shows per weekend that go across the United States, from big shows to small shows. That was never the case 10 or 15 years ago. I want to stress that to people, that the amount of card shows, the amount of interest, the amount of activity, the amount of people involved in the hobby is so much bigger than it was 5, let alone 10 years ago. So that is extremely exciting. The fact that, have dropped out of cards, but it doesn't mean that everybody has left the hobby. In fact, a lot of people have hung around the hobby and found ways to enjoy it. Things that are worrisome, obviously, to me, I guess not obviously, to me, it would be the bigger companies, the fanatics, the grading companies, not living up to their standards and not holding their end of the bargain to collectors, and really providing that top level customer service, providing that top level product. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see some of these bigger companies step up and really kind of put their best foot forward for collectors and for the people out there spending their hard-earned money on this stuff. I mean, these products have gone up a lot of money. I mean, I used to go to card shows and these boxes were $50, $100, $150 was an expensive box. $300 was an expensive box. Now the cheap products are $150, $200, $300 a box, let alone these expensive products, which are tens of thousands of dollars. So when you're charging that kind of money, and let alone what they charge for grading now, grading used to be like $8, now it's $18, $20 just for the entry-level service. So I'd love to see these companies step up for these people who are still in the hobby, who are still super passionate and super involved. So hopefully that's what happens. And with business, I could see something like that happening, where companies step forward and produce better for collectors.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you share a lot of it, as far as the negativity of some of the QR or QC stuff or whatever, quality control stuff. But I totally agree with you. I mean, it would be nice to know that these companies, big or small, have the collectors' backs, have the collectors' best interest in mind. But I don't know. It'll be a weird kind of couple of years here as we begin kind of moving forward into whatever the hobby is next. So love it though. Love it. And it was two rather like not necessarily negative. I mean, the negative things, but it was just kind of like excited about, and then also things that could change or things that could be different. So I love the takes, man. It's perfect for the high five. So last question, bonus question here. I'm going to throw it in there. When you think about sports card radio in the last year, kind of moving forward, kind of taking off on the YouTube, what's been like a favorite moment that you've had that you didn't think would have happened, maybe 2 years ago, but when you guys didn't even have a YouTube thing going on?
Oh gosh, I mean, just going back to the fact that I get phone calls and get blown up, and the fact that 5 to 10,000 people watch some of our videos every day, it freaking blows my mind. And we get sometimes 500, 600 comments on these videos, both good and bad. It really just blows my mind. It really just shows the level of interest in the hobby. It shows me that there are a lot of people just consuming my content, which is just such a tiny, minuscule part of the hobby.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of great things probably to come in the hobby. Hopefully we'll be a small part of that, and we'll just kind of keep doing our thing on YouTube or wherever that may be, and keep having fun. But to me, the best part is all the people that have reached out to me, even people like you reached out to me, wanted to do this. This is fun. This is something that never would have happened a couple years ago when I was selling sports tickets and nobody was, emailing me, wanting me to go on a show. So this has been, it's been fun to the last year or so to be on YouTube, and I'm sure I can speak to for my brother that we've certainly had a lot of fun the last year.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, we cleared the list. We got a high five. Throw it up at the end here. High five. Boom.
Bow, bow, bow.
Check out Ryan and Sports Card Radio on YouTube. Also follow him on social media at Sports Card Radio. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. K-Dub. Shout out to the endorsers of the High Five this year, Buck City Breaks and Rack of the Day on Twitter. Always remember, be the good. And appreciate it, Ryan. Thanks for joining me. And
appreciate you, man.
We'll catch y'all next time on the next High Five.